I'm Josh with Waupaca Community Media with our weekly update. Ron Sari from the Waupaca School District, Aaron Jensen from the city of Waupaca. And today's a big day. It is the start of the school year. And Ron, I suppose there's a lot of energy in the building. How's the first day going?
It's going great. I was able to be at the middle school and the WLC this morning as the kids were being dropped off and walking into the building, and it just went like a terrific start of the year. So we're very happy and pleased about that.
And one thing that parents and students are noticing, a decision was changed within the past couple of days regarding masking, and at the August board meeting, the board delegated that decision making to allow it to be more fluid, to be quick moving as situations change, instead of having to reconceive a whole school board meeting and notice it and having extra delays in the way. So tell us a little bit about that decision and why it was made.
Well, instead of trying to get 7 people together to meet, that gets difficult, especially if all of a sudden, you have a spike in cases or things like that happen. So I think that was the rationale behind that motion and the way we proceeded. And when you look at the data back on August 10th, when we had the school board meeting, we had a 7-day confirmed or a 14-day confirmed positive average of 7. And I think we had like 98 confirmed positives in the county over a 14-day period. So then when you look at that, and then you see on the 27th, when we announced that masks were going to be required, we jumped 2 points, over 2.5 points from the 10th on the 27th to 9.5 or 8 on that 14-day average. And then we also jumped from 98 to 134 on that total 14-day count. So we have that jump that took place, and our medical providers, our advisors are saying, hey, that's pretty significant. And at the same time, our cohort is composed of our students and our staff, and that's 2,450 individuals. On the 10th, we had 0 in our cohort that were confirmed positive. After August 13th, we've had 11 confirmed positives. Currently, we have 6 current positives in that cohort, and then we have some others that are close contacts that are out. So, that little uptick that we did not have over the summer when we had summer school, and summer school was mask optional. But as I'm looking at the data, it changes all the time. But I'm still optimistic and hopeful that after next week, we're going to be able to go back to mask optional. That's what we're hoping, if the data shows that. So we're just trying to stay positive, Josh, and nobody wants to continue with mask mandatory through a full any longer than we have to.
And you kind of made the comment that the decision going on right now, it's a temporary decision. It's fluid. It's going to be moving, and you guys are, I know you alone keep a really close eye on that data. If anyone wants to know about that data, I think you're almost, the person to talk to.
Yeah, thanks. I look at it frequently. Yeah.
The other thing we want to remind people is the school is offering COVID testing. So tell us when that is. It's at a certain point in the day, and how can it get accessed?
Yeah, so we have this PCR test. They're free. And if parents would like their children to participate, that all they have to do is call the school. So if, let's say my son was sick today, and we called him in sick, well, between 1 and 2 o'clock, I would call the middle school, the school that he goes to, whatever school your child goes to, call the nurse. And when you get to the school between 1 and 2, and they will come out and do a curbside test. And those results typically come back. They tell us to advertise between 24 and 48 hours, but a lot of those tests are coming back with an email after midnight sometime. So typically in the morning, the parent would get that test result. And of course, if they're symptom free for 24 hours and it's a negative test, they're able to come back.
That's great that you're offering that to get those pretty close to instant results to keep things moving along no matter what the result is. So that's great. On the city side of things, we've got a new staff member joining us next week. Going to be doing a lot with planning and zoning and community and economic development. Tell us about that, Aaron.
Yeah, so we have a new community economic development director. His name is Jared Rakeu. He's coming to us from the village of Cronenwetter. And he's from around the central Wisconsin area. His family kind of grew up in this region of the state. So we're really excited to have him. And one of the reasons we're really excited to have him is that over the past year and a half to 2 years, we've been performing zoning administration services through kind of a person that does it for multiple communities and works out of town. A lot of the stuff is done over email. He's an incredibly smart guy. I think we've learned a lot from working with him, but that structure with how busy we are is just not conducive to a customer service friendly process. And it's certainly not this current gentleman's fault, but we need someone in the office, and we're going to get that with Jared, and he's going to be able to walk people through some of the applications processes that are not normal things for people to do. If you don't work in zoning, if you don't work in the processes of going through development or putting signs up or things like that, you don't know how to do it. And this person will certainly help us improve in that area. So we're really excited about that. And he starts the day after Labor Day, so September 7th, I believe that is, next Tuesday. And we look forward to people around town seeing him a little more often.
Awesome. And then last thing we want to touch on a little bit, it both touches the school and the city. Grant writer Greg, keeping busy, getting grants. What are some notable accomplishments at this time?
Yeah, grant writer Greg. He just submitted another report, and really hard to believe, but it's the year-end report. He started at the beginning of last September. He's been here a year, and it's been quite a year. We didn't know what to expect. It's a unique situation where it's a partnership between the city, the school district, and the Chamber of Commerce. And you have to give our elected officials, I say this every time, but a ton of credit to be able to collaborate in that manner. And it's paid off. He has gotten $1.667 million over that in grants in his first year. 88% of those were fully funded. So, there's a lot of grants that are 50-50, 80-20. I think it's important to note that only 12% of that was having to be matched. So it's been awesome. He had submitted a total of 34 grants. I think it's important to know that Greg doesn't get every grant. I mean, he does really, really well, and he's got a great percentage. But there are some grants that were left out there because it's a competitive process. I think he applied for over $3 million worth of grants, got over 1.6 million. And there are still some large ones pending that we expect to hear something back from in the next month. So I know I speak for Ron and Terry at the Chamber when I say we have all been very, very impressed, and we're very happy to have them. Look forward to hopefully continuing this trend moving forward.
And it's great pulling that money into our community to either fund projects without taxpayer money or for projects that are above and beyond the basics that all the organizations provide. So that's awesome to hear the success he's having.
And I'm glad you brought that up. That's what we talked about. We said, so many communities have these things that they want to do, quality of life type things, whether it's in the school district through like extracurricular activities or mental health grants or things like that, or whether it's through our city and parks and recreation services or anything like that. Well, that stuff doesn't always get prioritized when you go through the budget process. And if we can give ourselves a tool to still get access to money to improve those areas of our community, and take care of the things that are prioritized, public safety, educating kids, public works. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. So yeah, thanks, Josh, for bringing that up.
Well, Ron, Aaron, appreciate the update. Ron, good luck to another successful school year.
Thank you.
We'll talk again soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Josh.